and this is a cooperative post-apocalyptic game where players are going to be in a desert wasteland. And to start the game, players are going to be choosing a mission to play, which can have some special rules or setup, unique victory conditions, and can also introduce semi-cooperative modes as well. And something that I think is really cool about how the missions work in this game is that they are all represented by different cards, and if you trigger certain events or state to happen in the game, it can actually cascade into another mission card, which is going to kind of change the situation or environment that you are playing in. At the start of a game, players are going to be choosing their different characters with different roles and stats, as well as unique special abilities, but you're going to be getting your own personal player board that you're going to be using to track your health, your actions, and your water that you're going to be managing throughout the game. And anytime that you need to deplete a water but you don't have any on your board, you're going to be depleting a health instead. There's also going to be a few slots at the bottom of the board where you'll be able to hold different items or resources, and items in this game can also be deconstructed in order to trade them in for various resources. And this is an exploration game where players are going to be discovering the map as the game goes on and as you're revealing different tiles, but each round is broken into a day phase and a night phase. At the start of the day phase, you're going to have to deplete one water from your board, and then you're also going to be revealing a weather card that can have all sorts of different effects, normally not good ones that will drain more of your resources. But players are going to be taking turns spending action points to perform various actions on their turn, and these actions can allow you to move around to different locations or even add new tiles onto the board. And anytime that a new tile gets added, it can have different points of interest that can be either good or bad, but there'll also be a number of resources that you may need to add onto that tile. If a player moves onto a tile with some resources, you can also use an action to collect some of those resources, but if you move into a tile with an enemy, that enemy is going to be instantly attacking you unless you're able to roll for a sneak check. And like I said, each of the characters will have different stats in different categories, and these are going to be used for different skill checks throughout the game, so sneaking might be a little easier for one character than it is for another. This is why it's really nice that you can actually see the tile first before you move on to it, because then you'll know if there is an enemy there and if you want to risk engaging with that enemy. So in the end, it is up to the player to decide, unless you decide to perform the jump move action, which allows you to both add a tile and then immediately move onto it. And this does save you some action points, but of course you don't know exactly what's going to be on that tile, so it is a bit more risky. But there are also some other things that you can come across with these tiles, like trading posts that allow you to buy or sell gear or even potentially steal the gear, and also events that can have a variety of different outcomes and can utilize different skills and abilities in order to use them to your advantage. But after all the players have performed their actions, you're going to be moving into the night phase and then also drawing a night card, which normally has some sort of negative effects for the player. But players can then take additional actions here, with one of the actions being to sleep. And if you choose to sleep, that's going to help you get more actions in the following round. But players could instead choose to sacrifice their sleep in order to take additional actions during this time. But anytime that you move during the night phase, you're going to be drawing another night card. So moving around too much during the night is not a good thing. Combat in this game is resolved using dice rolling, and the different characters will have access to different dice depending on their strength, but then you can also add additional dice if you do have the associated items. Of course, the enemies will also have some sort of strength stat as well, which is going to dictate the dice that they roll. And some of the enemies can also get you infected as well, which means that you're going to have negative consequences until you find the appropriate meds. But the game continues like this until the players are either eliminated by the various threats and weather conditions, or until they have completed that mission, and in that case they would win the game. And if you are interested in this one, I will have it linked in the description below.